Right, hello viewers and welcome back to the channel. Now, I love gravel bikes. I think they are amazing and they're getting better and better all the time, but they do have a limit. And right now, quite a few people are trying to fit mountain bike tyres into gravel bikes. At which point, are you better off on a hardtail mountain bike? Like this, for example, the brand new Canyon Exceed carbon fibre hardtail launched today. In the press material for the bike, Canyon talks about it not being a gravel bike as such, but used for the style of riding that gravel bikes are very popular for, where the terrain is tough enough that a mountain bike might be the better choice. For ultra distance racing, bike packing in the mountains, where the bigger tyres, suspension fork, the flat handlebar and geometry will perhaps lend themselves better than a gravel bike in those situations. And we have seen some companies like Fairlight and Mason also launch hardtail mountain bikes for those people that need something a bit more capable than a gravel bike. So this isn't a gravel versus mountain bike video at all. Don't worry about that. The internet has enough of those already. But a first ride on a brand new bike and talk about this bike in the context of where the line between a gravel bike and a mountain bike is, and if this is a better choice for most people riding gravel, especially in the UK where I'm based. So before I get changed, we'll go for a ride and talk about how it performs. Let me talk you through some of the details on this new bike. Now, if you're wondering why on earth you consider a mountain bike hardtail over a gravel bike, well, there are a few key features that stand out. Namely, tyre clearance. This bike easily clears a 2.4 inch mountain bike tyre. And then we have two other features borrowed from the gravel bikes. The seat post, so the VCLS split seat post for extra comfort in the saddle, designed for long distance riding and racing, and down tube storage, the same as on the Grail. So it's a brand new bike, brand new frame, carbon fibre, of course, just one level of carbon frame though, no CF SLX or better CFR, so nice and simple. 5 models in the range, price from €2,000 up to €5,000 for the range topping bike here. And then the geometry is fully updated and longer and slacker, which has been a key mantra in the mountain bike world for the last 10 years. So 67 degrees on this and a 465mm reach on a size large, which is still a bit short, I think. Personally, I prefer 475, 480 on a size large for my height and dimensions. But so slacker, longer than a gravel bike. And then two other key features on the frame that definitely stand out. I mentioned the down tube storage already. They've gone for a very low top tube for maximum standover clearance for extra manoeuvrability when riding in the twisty trails the bike is designed for. They kept the frame quite large for a frame pack, which can go in there. And then the rear stays are very slender and very bowed out, give more compliance at the back in tune with that carbon seat post as well. And up front on this range topping bike, we have a very fancy one-piece handlebar and stem like on their Lux World Cup. So an interesting fusion of mountain bike and gravel technology in the bike. So you join me in my local woods, actually riding a route I rode just 2 days ago on a Parley gravel bike I've been testing. Review coming soon. It's the same roads, the same trails, the same single track. So really interesting comparison. And I'm not trying to answer the question of which is best, because that's a pointless debate to have. You know which is best for you. And it simply comes down to that ratio of road and off-road and how rough your off-road is. Gravel bikes are fat tyre road bikes and lots of people use them as road bikes and some smooth dirt and well-maintained gravel, and that's it, so that's your lot. But if you're riding in the woods on rough trails, it's steep, it's techy, it's bumpy, and you're getting bounced around on your gravel bike and you wish you had more comfort, and you might have tried a redshift stem or some bigger tyres, then that might be a good case for a hardtail mountain bike. Get more comfort from the bigger tyres, that front suspension fork, and control through the twisty stuff is definitely much better with the geometry on the bike and a wide swept back handlebar. On the road, the bike does roll very well. The tyres are very quick on a tarmac, and the only real limitation to your speed on the road is the position and the width of the handlebars, and not having that drop option to get more aero, and the gear range as well. Definitely focus on climbing rather than high-end stuff. But it's not a road bike, is it? Not a road bike with fat tyres, it's a mountain bike. And on smooth gravel, you've definitely got more comfort from the bigger tyres and that suspension fork. Again, I don't have that drop handlebar, more aero position of a gravel bike. So limitation if you are trying to race and go flat out. But this is definitely where the mountain bike has a massive advantage over the gravel bike. I came along here on a parley the other day and it was very good, but definitely not as easy or quick as the canyon, which will surprise nobody at all. A long way from my limits, which on a gravel bike, you're right up against the limits on this sort of trail in terms of keeping your speed going. Just not being bucked about offline, and I hold my speed into the corners. So if you find yourself riding this sort of trail on your gravel bike all the time and you're fed up being bounced around and getting a sore back and shoulders, then maybe it's time you switch out to a hardtail mountain bike. If you're just riding off-road, then a mountain bike is clearly the best way to go. You'll have more fun, more control, and a lot more comfort as well. But if you're riding just a bit of technical single track as part of a bigger route with lots of road and off-road, then a gravel bike, I think, still overall has the benefit of the gearing, the multiple positions with a drop handlebar, and as tyres getting bigger, trending wider, and you fit suspension stems, you can now get a gravel bike which is very close to a mountain bike and possibly enough for many people. I do have a bit of a cold today, so you have to forgive me, a bit snotty, and also going quite slow as well, so definitely not full send on this first ride of a new bike. But hopefully I can keep the bike long enough to do something a bit more adventurous, a bit more epic, and drop a comment down below with suggestions of what I should do with this bike this summer. I do think though, regardless of what bike you choose, getting out in the woods away from the angry motorists on the busy congested roads is fantastic, no matter what shape your handlebars. It still does that thing of linking together different trails and roads, country lanes, bridleways, single track really well, like a gravel bike does, in the way I use them here in the Cotswolds. And yeah, it's not as efficient and optimized for road and high speed gravel, but I'm not having any less fun. And my average speed so far is about the same. Because of what I lose on the road, I make up in a single track. So swings and roundabouts really. So a nice ride that, and the bike, not even dirty. Brucey bonus, I love it. Don't know how long the dry trails will last, but I'll make the most of it while I can. And the bike, yeah, one ride, so very much a first ride. Yeah, very impressed indeed. And it does ride very well. It's very sprightly, very nimble, low weight, stiff frame. It darts through the corners, it climbs very well, gets down the hills very well too. And the comfort from this seat post is tremendous. And the reason I haven't been on a mountain bike hardtail in a long time and do prefer full suspension is for my back. But this bendy seat post, tremendous, makes a big, big difference. But riding this in the context of a sort of gravel bike comparison, not really comparison, I'm not gonna say which is best because you know which is best for you. Depends on that ratio, as I said before, on road, off-road, and single track, and how technical your trails are. It's definitely better on the rougher stuff, but not as good on the road and smooth gravel as a gravel bike. And it really comes down to which you put more emphasis on when you're riding a bike like this. But definitely, yeah, a lot of fun when you're in the woods, you're away from the roads and smooth gravel. You're riding single track, the roots and rocks to contend with. Big tyres, loads of traction, suspension fork, nice wide handlebar, fantastic geometry for getting down through twisty stuff very well. There are times I do miss a dropper seat post of a normal mountain bike, but the comfort benefits are pretty good. So yeah, it's a fun bike to ride. But would I sell my gravel bike for this? Well, no. I have a full suspension mountain bike for when I go mountain biking, and I still like a gravel bike for the mixed terrain surface riding appeal, road, gravel, single track, and doing more long distance, high speed stuff. But for mucking about in the woods on this, yeah, I can see myself making space in my garage for one. But where the bike definitely pulls away from a gravel bike is if you do one of these ultra distance gravel adventure races, where this bike, with all its attributes, could be a real bonus over a gravel bike. And that's something I'd like to find out for myself in the future. And hopefully, if Canyon let me keep the bike for long enough, and you maybe suggest a ride, a race or route down below in the comment section, me and the bike could go and do something epic and really put the bike through its paces and see where it makes more sense. I don't think this bike makes a lot of sense in terms of price. It's good value for money, 5,000 euros, but I'll go for a low spec model with a regular handlebar and stem, so more easy to fit handlebar bags and extensions, but you don't get the split seat post on the lower end models. And I do love the ceramic gearing on this bike, and the down tube storage I'm a fan of. So I put a link to the Canyon website down below. You're going to find out more about the bike and the other bikes in the range. But let me know your thoughts on this bike and your views on gravel and mountain bike and the comparison thereof. But that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again very soon.